What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel, and for today's weekend news video, I'm going to be talking about some new support for the newest archetype, the new Kshatri-La support. I'm probably butchering it, but that is quite okay. Not only that, but there is also a brand new Tearlaments field spell that I'm also going to be talking about in this video. So hopefully you guys are ready for this video. If you guys are, and you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you guys follow me on my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And let's get straight into it. Kicking these off, we have Kshatri-La Rise Heart, which is a 4-star fire warrior with 1500 attack, 2100 defense, and both effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: if you control a Kshatri-La monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you cannot special summon a monster from the extract for the rest of the turn except it exceeds monsters. So it's basically a Cyber Dragon Buster Lock of sorts, where you're locked. Excuse me. Where you're locked out of your extra deck, except for summoning exceeds monsters. Which, if you're running, if your extra deck is consists of nothing but exceeds monsters, then you're pretty much just good to go. Then you're not locked out of your extra deck. But if there's other monsters in there, like a fusion or something like that, then you're pretty much screwed. You're pretty much screwed unless if you like use it as like a super poly target for like, I don't know. I guess if you use it as a super poly target for like Guilty Gear Free, the Magical Steel Knight or something like that, then maybe it's okay. But still, it's basically Cyber Dragon, which isn't too bad. But here's where that's where its second effect kicks in, which reads: if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can banish one Kshatri-La card from your deck, except this card. Banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck face down, and if you do, this card's level becomes 7. So it essentially gives you. So basically, it essentially becomes a 1 card ranked 7, which is not too bad. And the best part is that you're decking out your opponent really quickly, which is pretty cool. By the way, shouts to Starbucks for the coffee. Not sponsored. Coffee's fucking awesome. So this is basically a much more weird version of what's that one card? It's that one card that I use in my Galaxy Eyes deck. Vain Betrayer. It's a much more weird version of Vain Betrayer, but the difference between this card, between this effect and Vain Betrayer, is that Vain Betrayer just mills it to the opponent's graveyard. This one banishes them, which it really doesn't matter because they both do the exact same thing. They mill, but still, it basically becomes a 1 card exceeds summon, which is pretty cool. Next up, we have Scareclaw Kshatri-La, and I almost forgot. I think yeah, I didn't realize it, but if you guys remember the Scareclaw archetype and the Tearlaments archetype that I talked about in the past, there's the field spell that I mentioned. Actually, I think might work with this deck, with this archetype, which is kind of hilarious. So I'll just title it as new Kshatri-La support. I don't know how I'm gonna title it, but you guys will know. You guys will know when the video comes up, but when the video goes up. But next up, we have Scareclaw Kshatri-La, which is a 7-star Earth Psychic with 0 attack and 2600 defense, and The first effect is a once per turn, which reads, during the main phase as a quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, banish a Kshatri-La or Scareclaw card from your hand or grave. Second effect reads, this card can attack while in face of defense. If it does, apply its defense for damage cal. So basically, it's similar to just this effect alone is similar to the Super Heavy Samurais where you can use their defense to attack your opponent. So depending on the Super Heavy Samurai monster, you can actually just go balls out and inflict piercing, but it just depends on the monster. Yeah, I needed that. Anyway, still that's actually not too bad of an effect. Being able to just attack into your opponent's monsters just by using this card's defense. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. The third effect reads the effects of any opponent's monster that battles your Kshatri-La or Scareclaw monsters are negated until the end of the turn. So it's essentially imperm with legs, basically. That's actually pretty cool, I have to admit. Next up, we have Tearlament's Kshatri-La. So I believe they work together, the new field spell. So that's pretty cool. 7-star Water Psychic, 2300 attack, 1200 defense, and all three of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads during the main phase as a quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, banish one Kshatri-La or Tearlament's card from your hand or graveyard. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, again, it's a Cyber Dragon. Ow. Sorry, guys. My neck is stiff. My neck is stiff as hell. That's what she said. Anyway, bad joke. I know. Still, that's actually not too bad. Being able to just summon this card right away and be able to just normal summon to be able to summon Rise Hard. You basically have a 1-card combo right there, which is pretty nice. Second effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can send the top 3 cards of either deck to the graveyard. Again, the most part you're gonna be sending. You're gonna be milling mostly your opponent's deck, so that way they don't draw into. That way they don't draw into their major into their major cards that will be a problem to you, basically, which is really cool. Third effect reads, if this card is sent to the grave by card effect, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So it's similar. So I guess this archetype is basically similar to the Lightsworn archetype, where you're gonna do a lot of milling, and some effects let you summon from your graveyard, which is pretty cool. Now for the Xyz monster, which is Kshatri-La, Arise Heart. Oh, okay. I gotta admit, the artwork looks pretty badass. Which is a rank 7 Dark Machine Xyz with 3k, 3000 attack and defense, and requires 3 level 7s. Yeah, that's quite the quite the task. Not really, because obviously you got 3 monsters that can. You got 2 monsters that can basically special summon from your hand, and you have a 4-star monster that you can normal summon right off the bat. So you basically just have yourself a 1-card Xyz in the form of a Rise Heart, which is pretty cool. Once per turn during the turn, the effects of You can also exceed summon Kshatri-La or Rise Hard using a Kshatri-La monster you control. That's not too bad. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, I have to admit. It does have 3 other effects, though. The first effect reads, cards sent to the grave are banished instead. It's basically Dark Law. That's all. Just that effect alone, it's Dark Law. Dark Law, probably one of the most problematic cards in the format. Just because of the fact that... Just because of the fact that it can banish... cards from your opponent's hand and field to from their hand and field. Any cards sent to the grave would get banished instead, and even if your opponent were to search out cards from their deck, Dark Law can just rip them out one by one, which is nuts. This card can basically just banish the cards, which is pretty cool. Second effect reads, once per chain, each time a card or cards is banished, attach 1 banished card to this card's material. That's actually pretty nuts. Once per turn, as a quick effect, you can detach 3 materials from this card, target a card on the field, banish it face down. I mean, to be fair, it's not that bad. The problem is that you would literally need to run 3 copies of Xyz's import, so you can keep on attaching your opponent's monsters to a Rise Heart as material, and then use cards, cards like Call By. Use cards such as Call By, and what other cards could you use? Maybe Dark Law, perhaps, if you wanted to run it in this deck, to attach banished cards to a Rise Heart as material, which can also, funny enough, I believe can help you go into Zeus as well, if I remember correctly, which it's not too bad. It's not too bad, but it does have its drawbacks, obviously. Next up, now we move on into the spell. So first up, we have Kshatri-La Overlap, which is a quick play spell, and it says that obviously it's both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, monsters. It says target 1 monster on the field. Banish a monster with 1500 attack, 2100 defense from the field, your hand, or your graveyard. If you do, the targeted monster gains 1500 attack. I mean, it's sort of like in Equip. So I believe it would double. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I thought so. So Rise Hard would be your target, and you can target you can actually target a Rise Hard, banish Rise Hard, and a Rise Hard would gain 1500 attack, which would make it 4500, which is pretty nuts if your opponent doesn't have an out to it, obviously. If this card becomes banished and you control a Kshatri-La monster, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls and negates effects until the end of the turn. Again, it's another form of it's another form of imperm. It's basically another imperm, if you will. There's a note underneath that says monsters you can banish with this card as of this writing are Infinite Track, Drag Shuffle, Rise Heart, again I mentioned, Turtleman's Reinhardt, Scareclaw Reichheart, and Wind Up Zenmains. Really, Zenmains? No way! Hold on. There is no shot. Let's see. Deck Editor. And I'm on Nexus to confirm this, because I don't... Let's see. No way. Zenmains. What? Oh wow! I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Monsters. Let's see. 15. 21. DG OCG results all. Let's see. Okay, I thought. Okay, so they all basically have that attack. So drag shuffle, rise heart. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Okay, so drag shuffle. I don't think I ever talked about that card on the channel. Oh wow, wow, that's pretty nuts. That's pretty nuts, though. I got to admit, that's pretty cool. That there's that something like that can actually work. Holy shit, that's pretty nuts, guys. That is pretty fucking nuts. Next up, we have Kshatri-La Papayas. I don't even know how to pronounce it. In the kanji translation is called the sixth world, the sixth heaven of desire. That's okay. That's odd. Very, very odd, guys. Very, very odd. Very odd. It's a normal spell that reads obviously both effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: target one Kshatri-La monster you control. Special summon one Kshatri-La monster with a different attribute from your deck in defense. And you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Xyz monsters. So again, you're basically locked out of your extra deck. Unless if your extra deck has nothing but Xyz monsters, then go for it. Second effect reads: if this card becomes banished, you can target one of your banished Kshatri-La cards, except this card, add it to your hand. So it's sort of like spell reproduction, but instead of adding the spell from the grave, it's from the banished pile, which it's okay. The problem is that there are so many ways that your opponent can keep you from adding cards from the banished pile. It's pretty difficult. So you would need to find an out to their outs, if you will. Which is it possible? Yeah. Is it likely that people would use those outs? Probably not. Probably not, because all they want to do once they see those outs is just scoop. That's all they'll do is just scoop, which is just... it is what it is. So that's pretty cool, though. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have Prime... wait, what? Prime Planet Parazos? I believe is how it's pronounced. Which is the field spell. And it says that the third effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads: when this card resolves, you can add one Kshatri-La monster from your deck to your hand. So it's excuse me. It's basically a form of Rhoda, which is it's basically Rhoda, which you guys know, any card that has a Cyber Dragon effect, a Rhoda / Strauss effect, or even like any that has like any form of like back row removal effect, you know the card is gonna be good. This one, no different at all. The second effect reads, monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each different attribute among monsters on the field. Oh, so it basically can go up to, I believe, 700, because funny enough, the Egyptian gods actually do count as their divine attribute counts as an attribute, which is hilarious. But still, that's not too bad. Going up to like what, 5, 6, maybe 700 attack. I mean, that's not too bad, but would it really make all the difference? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. The third effect reads, if Kshatri-La's Shangri-La you control activates its effect, you can target one card on the field and destroy. So again, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's a form of removal, but it's also a way to search out your deck for pretty much any Kshatri-La card, any Kshatri-La monster that you want, that you may have at your disposal, which is really nice. And of course, for all the viewers in Portugal, if you guys didn't know, Paraíso actually is Portuguese for paradise. I didn't realize it, because there's a note underneath that says it. Next up, we have Scareclaw D Fang, which is a continuous spell, and it reads that the third effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads, your opponent cannot target Scareclaw Link monsters and Visas Starfrost you control with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. That, I mean, it's a protection. That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Second effect reads, monsters destroyed by battle with your Scareclaw Link monster or Visas Starfrost are banished instead of being sent to the grave. Again, it's another form of Dark Law, which is just absolutely nuts. Any effect, any monster spell trap, it doesn't matter, any card with a Dark Law effect, you know it's going to be busted. And this time is no fucking different. The third effect reads, you can banish one Scareclaw Link monster from your field or grave, target a card your opponent controls, and destroy it. Again, it's removal. It has a Dark Law effect, and not only that, it has built-in protection. So any of your Scareclaw monsters or your Visas Starfrost monster that you may have at your disposal, they do not get destroyed by card effects, nor can they be targeted, which is pretty cool. How many cards left in this one? We have 2 more in this one, and then the field spell. Next up we have Trivikarma. Yeah, Trivikarma. Never thought that would be a name. So Trivikarma is a normal trap which reads that you can only use the effects of this card once per turn, and only once that turn. So it obviously they are harder once per turns, and it's got 2 separate effects. The first effect reads, target one Visas Starfrost you control and one effect monster your opponent controls. Negate that opponent's monster's effects, and if you do, your monster gains attack equal to half of that opponent's monster's original attack or defense, whichever is higher. So it's basically a much more refined version of Ryoku, which, if you guys do not know Ryoku is a very weird DM card that I believe in the anime, Nistro actually used that card, which is kind of crazy. Let's see. Here we are, Ryoku. Target 2 face-up monsters on the field. Have the attack on one monster, and if you do, add that lost attack to the other monster. These effects last until the end of the turn. It's basically that, but better. It's basically that effect, but just even better, which is insane. Because the second effect reads, you can banish this card from your grave, add one spell trap that mentions Vies the Starfrost from your deck to your hand, except this card. It's not that bad, but still, being able to just attack over your opponent with half of its own attack is pretty cool. That's pretty cool, I have to admit. Next up, we have Kshatri-La Big Bang. That's what she said. Anyway, it's a normal trap with two separate effects, and they are both once per turn. And the first effect reads, if there is a Kshatri-La Xyz monster, on the field, make both players banish monsters from their field face down so they control only one. So it's sort of like evenly matched, but not evenly matched, because obviously with evenly matched, it's one-sided, whereas opposed to this, it's basically a level playing field, which is pretty cool. Second effect reads, if this card becomes banished, you can target one Kshatri-La Xyz monster you control, add one Kshatri-La monster attached to it as material to your hand, then you can special summon it from your hand. So you're essentially just detaching the material, and you're just summoning it to your board, which is pretty cool. The only downside to it, though, is the fact that you might not be able to have enough materials, especially on a Rise Heart, to use its effect. So that's like the only downside, but still, that's actually pretty cool. And then last up for this video, we have the brand new Tearlament's Field Spell, which is known as Tearlament's Perlegia, I believe is how it's pronounced. And it has two separate effects, and the second effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads, fusion monsters and Tearlament's monsters you control gain 500 attack. Second effect reads, if an Aqua Tearlament's monster is sent to your grave by a card effect, you can send one level 4 or lower one level 4 or lower Aqua monster from your deck to the grave. But if it's not a Tearlament's monster, you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with that name for the rest of the turn. So basically the Frog Engine works with this deck, which obviously is stupid, but I gotta admit it's actually pretty cool because it's essentially a Foolish Burial that helps you extend your plays a little bit more, so you can make your board and essentially just go into a card like, say, Axis Kotager, and just break your opponent's board right then and there, which is pretty cool. So, with that being said, that brings us to the question of the day, which is this. What deck are you guys going to play when Photon Hypernova gets released? Let me know down in the comments below, and that will do it for this video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. And as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss out. And as always, make sure you guys follow me on my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.